Hello viewers, welcome to CodeForAny. Swift UI taxi app inside. Today we need to see this here, the user part inside we need to develop here. First of all, so need to make this here the after the accept rights, so need to open this here the user ride running show need to inside the app, and then after need to call this here the cancel rights, and also waiting for users socket listens and driver ride cancel socket also need to listen here, and also make for the drivers user login inside the user ride cancels socket you need to listen here. First of all need to copy here the driver run rides view models, and to create here the user run rides view models need to develop here. So now need to copy here, and now need to view models inside we need to create here the new files, and to give this here the name user run ride view model, like this create here. And now need to paste this here this data, and to remove here, and also need to remove here the b status already defines, that's why I need to get here the errors, and now need to rename this here the class names. And now unused codes we need to remove here the inside the booking action. For the status change we need to remove here no needs inside the user sides, that's why I need to remove. Also no needs here the waiting for users start rides complete stop rides need to remove here no needs the API. And also now need to go inside the defines here the one API. Now need to copy this here and to write down here the user ride user cancel ride, give this layer the names. Now need to copy and to change inside the users paste this here, and like this we need to set here. And also need to change this here the give this here the driver current locations, because this booking inside need to get this here the locations is the drivers. Now need to copy here these lines and to paste this here, both place latitudes and longitudes need to change this here the latitude and longitudes value. Now we need to set this here the key names as the lati and longit, like this we need to set here. For the setting here, now need to set here the driver locations latitudes and driver locations longitudes, like this sets here. Now need to copy here and we need to paste this here, like this sets here, and to configure this here and to set this here the data, like this configures we need to setting here. And now also need to give this here the some status we need to add it to status 7, so need to import here. If you get here set status 7, then to defines here no driver found, and also need to write down here on way driver and waiting driver, ride started with, ride complete with, ride cancels and not found, like the status need to manage here and to configure this here. Also need to check here the no driver status, and another status we need to check here the status colors, like this we need to setting here. And also need this here the socket configurations, we need to need this here the first of all. Now need to go inside the user home view models, and we need to copy here the accept sockets, need to cut here this data and to put inside here on methods, because we need to configure this here. Also now go again and to get this here the initialize of these sockets, need to get here cut here this value, and to go inside the run and to put this here defining here as a len, like this. And then after need to needs here the more configurations, and to call this here the one more API, we need to needs here. Now need to close this here, now showing here the message. Now need to write down here the self dot API home, and we need to call this here the API. this API to get this here the corner running rides need to get here, and to show this here the running ride screen need to show directly. Like this we need to configure inside the drivers view models. Same codings we need to use and to apply here. Now first of all we need to develop here another sockets. Need to configure here. Now need to copy here and to paste this here. Now need to configure this here the driver ride cancel sockets need to configure this here. Driver cancel ride. These sockets need to listen here. If you get this here the data, then we to need this here the first of all let b object is equal to we need to write down here the response object value for key and to set here the key dot payload, and as need to need this here the dictionary need to get here like this we need to set here. Then after we need to check this here the booking ID is the same with the current running ID. Then to like the check if not then not any operations need to perform here. Now need to check here the BID value for key and to pass this here the booking ID as optionals integers. Give this here the -1 and equal to self dots write object value for key and to set here the booking right as question mark to set here the integers here 0 like this need to configure 0. Then now need to opening here the any running screen. Then to first of all need to close this here to write down here the show running rights need to set here the false. Now need to set here the some delay and to showing this here the message the driver ride cancels. That's why need to set here the dispatch queue dot main since afters need to set here the now plus 0.5 seconds need to set here and to write down here the inside the box need to write down here the users home view models and need to set this here the share dot error message and to set here the showing here the driver cancel ride user home view models share and to show message need to set here the true. Like this need to configure here and same as we need to configure here the waiting for users sockets need to listen here and to notify for these users. First of all now need to set here the socket name need to write down here driver waiting wait users need to listen here the sockets and to set this here. Now need to remove these ears and need to configure this here the data. Now check here the booking ID both are the equal. Then inside if need to set here the let if let set here the b object. Now need to needs here the temp object. If let temp object is equal to self dot b ride objects as we need to give this here the ns mutable directory because we need to need this here the modifications and to change this here the status inside. Now need to write down here the temp objects set value for key and now need to pass this here the p object value for key and to set this here the booking status like this sets. And now need to set here the value booking status self dots need to now need to set here the this new data set writes data and to give this here the this temp objects and also automatically refresh the screens and to change this here the status. Like this, you need to configurations are the needs here and to set this here the data. And now we need to copy here the run trip view, need to copy and to convert into the user run trip view. Now need to copy this data and now need to go inside the user home, create here the new files and to give this here the name, select here the Swift UI view and to user run trip view. Like this, sets here the name and now need to paste this here the data and to remove here this all data. Need to remove here no needs. Also shift, need to cut this here the map kits and to put this here. Now need to change this here the trip and to remove here this data. Like this sets. Also need to change this here the user run rides view models. Need to set this here. No needs here the ride status need to remove here, and also unused codes need to remove here. First of all, so need to go scroll downs and to remove here the ratings needs button to not deletes. Then after you need to remove here the buttons. No needs here the buttons right changing need to remove because this is user app. No any operations for the buttons. Like this configures here, set this here, and also need to make sure here inside the cancels need to go inside the running and now need to check here the API. Set here the user right cancel and also need to set here user right cancels API. Now need to change this here the calls for the cancellations. Need to like this set. Now need to set is done. Now need to go inside the run view and set like this here the data and calling this here the API. Not an issue. And all this set here the data. Now need to go inside the view and also need this here the cancel tips. Not any change. And also need to remove here the tolls no needs. Also send OTP, no needs, need to remove here. Cancel reasons, no reads, need to remove here. Like this, need to clean this here the codes and you need to set this here the data. Now you need to go inside the drivers, run rights view. You need to go and to define here the sockets. First of all, need to opening here the second window, close this here and to select this here the doors. Now we need to copy here and this and to scroll up and now need to need this here the socket and to define here. Then after need to listen this here the sockets and now need to paste this here this data and now need to change this here, not this and copy here and we need to paste this here. Now need to close and change this here the user write cancels. We need to set here inside these sockets to write down here user write cancels, replace this here and now need to set here the driver view models. We need to set this here like this data. We need to configure here for the driver cancellations and also need to need here some changes inside the data. Now we need to set here the opening here the running view. Now need to go inside the user home view and to write down here the background view open logics. We need to set this here. First of all, now need to go inside the home view and to copy here the background and we need to paste this here and now need to change this here the user run trip view. We need to set this here this data like this sets here in this view. Need to set here. Also make sure this initialize here. object. Set here the state object where rvm is equal to user run rights view models dot shares. Need to initialize here and to configure this here. Now also makes here the one configurations. After the accepting rights, we need to open this here the running screens. Need to configurations are the needs. Now need to go inside the driver view models. Need to find out here the driver view models, and now need to find out here the API. Need to down here conditions. If service name equal to globe dot sv accept driver rights, and need this here's else parts. Need to cut this here the showing message alerts. Need to paste this here. Now need to write down here the driver view model dot share dot. So need to call this here show request new request. Set here the calls. Also need this here the close, and now need to write down here the dispatch queue dots main dot after. Since afters need to set here the now plus 0.5 like this. Set here configurations, and need to set this here the data. Now need to write down here the calls driver running rides view models dot share, and to call this here the get home API. Need to call this here, otherwise not opening here after accepting the driver inside the running red screens. Need this here the important parts. Need to set here some delay, otherwise not opening this here the screens. Now need to run these apps, and one for the users. Now run here the user simulators, and also need to run here the driver simulators. Now both simulators and the runs app are the done, and to test this here. Now need to select here the drop of locations, and now click on the continue, and to get this here the rights need to select and to send this request. Also need to get this here the request, click on accept. Need to accept and opening this here the both running screens, and now need to change this here the status awaits user notify, and also need to change this here the automatically listening this here the software. And now need to click on the cancel trips for the user side. So need to cancel here and to write cancels, and also need to listening this here the driver write cancel. Need to change this here the message. Need to change here the users write cancels. Need this here the message like this. Need to set here, and now first of all need to change this here the message inside. Now need to go inside the driver run the rights, and to change here the user write cancels like this sets. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.